Vanakkam, greetings. I'm very happy to meet you all. My name is Siva Mathiyazhgan, Associate Director of Safe Lab, Columbia University. I'm very happy to be part of the People Summit, co-building a new eco-social world, leaving no one behind. Thank you for this opportunity to present my ideas around global tech social work, addressing algorithmic inequalities for social equity. In 2021, the United States reserved 34.7% of the global tech revenues, which is 2 times higher than the European Union and almost equal to the rest of the world's tech revenue. The market-centered tech products are proven to cause social inequalities and mental health harm to young users and marginalized communities across the world. There are some significant conversation about tech ethics and equity in the US and Europe. However, there is no such ethical tech practice conversation in the global South. Social problems in tech, algorithmic bias in automated decision-making, recommendation on online ads, and in the recent Instagram documents reveals that addictive algorithms causing mental health challenges to the teenagers, online child sexual abuse materials, online grooming and cyberbullying are one of the most pressing issues for children. Social media and suicidal expressions are keep escalating, e-incarcerations and social media surveillances, online surveillances are keep going up against the historically marginalized groups. And automating inequalities in health, education, jobs, housing, welfare, and financial opportunities for historically marginalized communities has been denied and creating more negative digital footprints. It's time for social workers to pitch in. And since social work is a practice-based profession that deals with intersection of social problems and the mental health challenges at all levels, and being a transdisciplinary profession, we tend to work with various disciplines, various stakeholders. It is like a perfect opportunity for social workers to work with emerging technologies and trying to add social work thinking, social work principles, social work approaches, methods, and incorporating those into emerging technologies would possibly address these issues online. And there are some interdisciplinary social work and data science experiments in United States to address social inequalities in data integration and online mental health practices, but that's not very sufficient, and there is no stronger or global initiative for social work in emerging technology. These initiatives offers critical insights to initiate a global conversation around tech social work to address algorithmic inequalities by addressing bias, harm, digital divide, promoting diversity, inclusion, and prevention of addictive algorithms in local and global context. I envision there are 2 types of tech social work. One, emerging technologies in social work, how social workers can use all the emerging technologies to offer existing social services and practices online and offline. And 2, social work in emerging technologies, how social workers can co-deploy appropriate technologies with the impacted social groups for the future, for further expansion of safe and inclusive communities online and offline to uphold human rights and social justice. Global Tech Social Work Initiative will bring a global social workers together to collectively sensitize and encourage transdisciplinary collaborations to act locally for global tech social equity. And the global tech social workers to promote social equity in tech and global strategies for social work education and practice in emerging technologies. Wherever we are in any part of the world, and whatever the local level actions can be taken at the 4 different levels. One, they are social work education. Social work schools should come forward to integrate emerging tech and media courses into their social work curriculum, so that like the future social workers very much aware of the technologies and emerging medias, particularly the AI-driven social medias. So technologists and the social workers can work together to address the possible bias and harms in the tech development and deployment and use of data process. And the second, as a practice, social work practice need to be expanded with tech companies and to co-develop and deploy tech tools and services with the possible impacted groups to prevent bias and harm. Social work students, like social work practitioners, should be trained enough to work with tech companies so that they can be like a great value addition to the companies, particularly for the developers. They can bring a eco-social context, particularly the care for people and planet, can come together with the social work principles and initiating human rights, environmental rights, and the social justice principles into the tech development process would possibly create a more justful tech tools. And third is policy pay. The most of the legislation, even in the US or in the global South, there is no clear social policies, how to use the technologies, or what kind of challenges the technologies are causes to the vulnerable communities are not included in the social policies. It is a time to update and co-develop social policies with relevant stakeholders based on the emerging technology and market-driven community needs. So it is time to update the policies. And research, we really need to co-create transdisciplinary research, social workers with a data scientist, computer scientist, incorporating the participatory action research and qualitative research inputs into the data science and computer science will add like a more contextualization, cultural context, and meaningful participation of communities can be ensured. All this need to make it possible only by increased resource allocation. If there is no resources to do a research or no resources to the take social work education and practice, it will be really, really difficult for us to even make this agenda a reality. And co-building technologies with the social workers and possible impact groups will make co-building a eco-social world agenda a reality in the present as well as the future tech-driven society. And I thank you and stop here. And if you have any questions or anything need to be clarified, please feel free to reach out to me via email. I'm happy to answer. Thanks for your time and participation.